Namaskar. I welcome you all to this third session of meditation being conducted in a series on a weekly basis. In the first two sessions, just give a recap. In the first session, we meditated on the gap between the breaths. The breath comes in, there is a gap. We noticed that gap and then the breath moved out. This was the first set of meditations. The second set of meditation was a deeper one in which we identified the life energy, the Pran Shakti. The breath is the carrier, it is the one which is moving in and moving out, and what it is carrying along with it is the Pran Shakti. And we identified that the Pran Shakti enters from this point. The point initially during our breathing is of this size of our eyeball. As we keep on progressing in the meditation, this keeps on decreasing and becomes a single pointed thing, and that single pointed ray of energy which moves in, for those who have reached very advanced stages of happiness and bliss, for them it is a continuous process. For us, we need to take efforts to focus it here. And it is not that it is only during the meditation session that this energy moves in, it keeps on moving in. It is our attention and awareness which dissipates it to different locations. And because of this attention and the dissipation of attention and your awareness, different parts of the body get a different quantity of this Pran energy, and that is how the deterioration in the body happens and the aging process takes place. So during this meditation, we try to focus this Pran energy at the point where we want it to help us in our growth. Okay, so this was the second set of meditations in which we did 4 visualizations. The first visualization was this spot of the size of our eyeball, this eyeball, this eyeball, and this spot, all three interlinked in a triangle. That was the first visualization. The second one was a solitaire diamond at the center of our brain. And how did we establish the center? We drew this line from here to here. We drew this line from here to here. And we drew this line from this point of center to this point of center. Wherever these 3 lines intersected inside our head, that was the point of pineal gland, and we visualized it to be a solitaire, a diamond. And we visualized that when we take a breath in, the Pran Shakti enters from here and strikes that pineal gland. Since it is a diamond, it reflects. The third visualization, it reflects in the entire head. And slowly, as we keep on focusing on it, it keeps on increasing from our head, 10%, 20, 40, 30, 60, 80, 100, and all the black, the darkness that we have accumulated, it becomes a small little tablet here and then it vaporizes. This was the third visualization. And the fourth visualization was at one opportune moment when the critical mass of white is full out here, we are feeling bliss, something of a lightning strikes from here. And this entire white thing becomes a white porcelain dish. One dish kept on top of another, absolutely clean from inside and full of happiness, joy and bliss. Then we channelized this energy to the rest of the body. So instead of the Pran and Shakti going in and randomly reaching at different places, we visualized it to get accumulated out here, and then we channelized it to various other places. That is how we did the second set of visualization. Second meditation. Today we will move into a third, more subtle part of meditation. Please identify yourself that you are not doing the run of the mill breath control meditations. We are digging deeper. We are getting into more subtle and more beautiful parts. These parts will take some of our attention more than usual, but the payoffs of these methods are manifold. You yourself will experience the growth that is happening in you, both in terms of happiness and bliss, and your growth in the physical world also, which is a by meditation. Your internal bliss is the aim of this meditation, and your external growth is a collateral not damage, but a byproduct. That is how it happens. Okay. Before we start today's meditation, let me do a bit of theoretical background to it. Only then we will be able to realize what we are trying to do. Okay. We start this way. I just narrate a small little incident long ago. That is how all stories start. Long ago, you see, there was a banyan tree. A huge banyan tree whose shade was famous all over. Travelers used to make a detour to that tree, sit under its shade, and then go to their respective journeys. So under that tree one day, 4 guys were sitting. They were relaxing in the afternoon, and they were waiting for the sun to go down so that they can resume their walk and move ahead to some destination, some village ahead. These were the days when there were no means of transport other than the animal transport. So they were all generally people used to walk from one place to another. So when they were sitting in the afternoon, a cool breeze started blowing. And that cool breeze made the 2-3 branches sway of that banyan tree. The first guy observed the branches swaying and said, "What a beautiful dance these 2 branches are doing." He was a dancer by profession. So he said, "What beautiful dance these 2 branches are doing. Look at their rhythm, look at their movement, look at their synchronicity with each other, look at their complementing each other's movement. What a beautiful dance." And everybody started looking at that. The second guy says, "I look at this like a poetry in motion." He was a poet by profession. So he said, "This is poetry in motion. Look how beautifully the entire concepts of the world are encapsulated in their movement." He rattled out a beautiful poem objectifying the 2 branches which were moving and swaying in the breeze. The third guy was a timber merchant. He said, "Boss, I will get 7 pieces of gold from this tree. 4 for the timber and 3 from the coal that I will make from the debris of the branches and the leaves. And out of this 7 pieces of gold, I will pay 2 to my laborers, and beautiful profit will happen to me." He explained it in that manner. The fourth guy was a young boy, a newly married. He had run away from home because his wife was fighting with him. And he says, "Oh, these guys also fight amongst themselves. Yahan pe bhi ladai." Thank God there was no WhatsApp in those days. All 4 of them laughed at this joke, got up in the evening and went their own ways. Had there been WhatsApp or social media in those days, everyone would have typed in their experience and everyone would have fought to defend their point of view, fought with their life, fought with their attention, fought with their awareness. And not one day. It would have continued for ages and ages and years and handed over to the next generation. The fight would have been handed over to the next generation. This is what is happening to us. The social media is the biggest culprit in our day-to-day affairs. Every day we are bombarded with opinions of others, which is either dancing or poetry or fighting. And we keep on defending our position, irrespective of knowing the fact that it was a simple breeze which was making the branches move. Now, when this kind of a thing happens to our mind needs some rest and it needs a refresh, a reboot. This reboot happens during our sleep. But the problem is our sleep is also polluted because of the entire day. First of all, both the quantity and the quality of sleep both are absolutely polluted, and it is not what we require. As far as quantity is concerned, the Western rishis, they say it is supposed to be 8 hours a day. We hardly get 5 to 6 hours a day. And the sleep itself, as per Mandukya Upanishad, our mind has got 4 stages. The first stage is the waking stage. I'm going deeper into the theory so that we understand the practice. Please bear with me. Our first stage is the waking stage. When we are awake, we look at the world. The inputs keep on coming in from sense organs. We keep on storing them in our small-term memory. The second is the dreaming state, the swapna. First is Jagrit, second is swapna. The swapna state is the one in which we dream. And these dreams are nothing but the stored memory of the day being sorted out in its respective slots, connecting the dots. That is what happens. The third state is deep sleep. That is when we've connected all the dots of the inputs of the day, and now the mind also can rest. We get into a deep sleep. That is when the refreshment happens. That is when the prana energy moves away from here and it replenishes the rest of the body and repairs whatever has been damaged. Beyond that, the fourth stage is Turya state, the state of one with the ultimate. That state is the one which acknowledges the presence of other 3 states. Otherwise, if we were in deep sleep, how would we know we were in deep sleep? It is the Turya state. So we will not go up to Turya. Curtailing of the hours of our because of the curtailing of the hours of our sleep from 8 or 9 or 12 to 5 or 6, we don't get enough of time to adjust the inputs where they're supposed to reach. We don't get enough time. So swapna state is not complete and our early morning wake up happens. In our dreams, we do not see the dreams and as a dream. We see it as ourselves living it. And in that living, a lot of energy is wasted. We keep on running from left, right, center, keep on finding some connection in the input that we have received and creating some kind of imagery. And this imagery keeps on eating our prana energy and the body gets deprived of it. The aim is to reduce the dream state and to increase the deep sleep state. That is the aim of this third particular set of meditation technique. Our aim is to reduce the dream sleep. How do we do that? Very easy and very subtle. What we do is, We do not do this meditation sitting on a couch or early morning in a meditation asana or something like that. We don't do it that way. We do it at the time when we are going off to sleep. Just before going off to sleep. We finished watching our Netflix movie. We finished chatting on the social media. We finished doing this to the Facebook and other social media, Twitter, all sorts of inputs, attention grabbing, attention hijacking tools. We've used all of them. And now finally we are putting our head to a pillow. That is the point we start this technique. And how do we do that? We close our eyes, take a deep breath in, and imagine the prana energy going in from here, striking the solitaire, and then turning inwards and going to our heart, getting deposited there. With closed eyes, darkness in the room, we simply take a deep breath in, energy goes in, goes to our heart. There are 4 chambers in the heart. It energizes the first chamber. Then, in the next breath, we release the breath. When we release the breath, it is all empty breath. There is no energy in it. We again take in the deep breath of the second deep breath. Deep breath for the second chamber. And we deposit from the thing onto the second part of the heart. Similarly, we do it for the third, and similarly, we do it for the fourth. All 4 chambers we keep on energizing with this meditation of calling in the prana energy, lying in a bed. Slowly and slowly, the consciousness will get reduced. The sleep will start. The dreams will start forming. And we put effort to push the energy to our heart. Push the energy to heart with every thought. We do that. We do that to push the energy to the heart. Take a deep breath in. Let it reach there. Out, in. And slowly, slowly, our consciousness will decrease. It will reach a level, and our awareness of the dream will keep on increasing. We will reach a place where either both are equal, and at that point they merge with each other. The consciousness and the dream state, they merge with each other. We see our dreams as dreams. We don't see our dreams as ourselves. One thing is sure, we are always in our dreams. And we've been at the same age and with the same volume. Nothing has changed. We remain constant right from our childhood till now, until we reach the next stage of life. In our dreams, and it is never that we had a dream in which we are not there. So this is the state when our consciousness and dreams merge. And this is the state when we are a bit conscious, and also we are conscious of the dream which are coming. And then we go off to sleep. You will see next day morning how deep and beautiful sleep you experienced. Just because of this. And to do this, 4 things are required. Let me tell you. If you do this with the prime aim of finding faults in it, well, you will find faults in this only. If you see whether this has succeeded or failed, it will fail. So what are the 4 things? First is prem, with utmost love in your heart. Second is vishwas. Vishwas is faith. With faith that it will work. Prem, vishwas, shraddha, the reverence. Yes, this is something which is of a realm which is beyond our day-to-day experience. Let me have shraddha towards it. And fourth is samarpan. Samarpan. dedication, with utmost surrender, not dedication, surrender, utmost surrender. Surrender every doubt that you have. Surrender everything that is troubling your mind. Surrender everything, every doubt on this process. Just do it. Just for the fun of it, do these 4 things. Have these 4 ingredients and then do this technique. You will see a marked improvement in your sleep pattern. The dreams will reduce, the deep sleep will increase. In the same set of 4-5 hours. You may, because the deep sleep is increasing and the body is getting too much of positive energy, you may sleep longer also. But in this, the dreams will reduce. All the inputs from the social media and the negativity and the black dark smoke that is generated, the algae that is in the mind, this entire, the debris, the drain, everything will reduce. When all this will reduce, the Pran Shakti, instead of fighting this, will energize and rejuvenate the entire body. It will help in longevity also. It will help in reducing stress, reducing hypertension, reducing acidity. 90% of the ailments where the allopathic way of treatment only treats the symptoms, 90% of those will go away if we follow these few techniques, not one, a combination of techniques, whatever suits us. So what is my aim? My aim is to bring into your awareness all these techniques in a language that we all understand. That is why I am neither quoting the Sanskrit text, nor I am quoting the verbatim translation. And I am not going as per the document also. There are certain things which are way beyond. It requires a lot of background study. I am not touching that. I am just touching simple techniques which can help us. These are force multipliers. You do it once, your growth of happiness, bliss increases. So we do this technique at the time of going off to sleep, and that technique is close your eyes, take a deep breath, imagine Pran energy going in from here, touching the pineal gland, moving down to heart, filling the heart with positive energy, with Pran energy, all the 4 chambers, 1, 2, 3, 4, all 4 chambers. And keep on doing this again and again and again and again and again, and we drowse and get into sleep. The dreams come up and they reach at this level only. They don't go beyond and capture this. That is what we need to do. And once we do all this, very easily we will notice the next day morning everything has changed. The depth of sleep is increasing. If we have to come up from where we are, the external world will not change. The WhatsApp will still be there. 2,000 messages will be there, which are hungry to eat away our attention. Nothing will change. What will change is your inner realization that all this is useless. They have no bearing. You are responsible for your health. You are responsible for increasing your own internal immunity. No medicine will increase that. It is these things which you trigger from your pineal gland that will increase the immunity of the body and increase the bliss. As I explained, happiness, joy and bliss. Aim is to increase the bliss quotient of your body, blissify your body. That is what we will do. So, we finally, the summing up, just when you go off to sleep, just before going off to sleep, and see if 1 hour before going off to sleep you can switch off your electronic media. That will be of great help to you. Going off to sleep at 2 o'clock after binge watching Netflix is you are damaging yourself. Just 1 hour, or in case you can do that, that would be a fantastic thing. Before having your dinner, get away from electronic media, discuss, read book, whatever you want to do. Do not touch the phone 1 hour before going out to sleep and 1 hour after getting up from sleep. Both are equally important. So with this, one last word, pran, energy here, going out to sleep, breath in, energy goes in, fills up the heart, breath moves out, second breath in, here, fills the second, third and fourth chamber. In 3 or 4 cycles, you will go off to very deep sleep. With 4 things: Shraddha, Vishwas, Samarpan, and the 4th one, you have recalled it correctly. Thank you. So we finished today's live this thing. Tomorrow we will move on to another technique, so that you have a bouquet of 5-6 techniques. You can experiment with all of them and find your own path. Thank you very much. Namaskar.